sound. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the 50th anniversary of the London Bridge Days Parade. It is a beautiful 76-degree morning here on Main Street, McCulloch, in beautiful Lake Havasu City, Arizona. And we are getting ready. We still have a ways to go before the parade starts. The parade starts at 10 a.m. But we knew that we would have people wanting to know, are you going to be live? Are you going to be here? And we are. We are here. We will be live. We're bringing you the London Bridge Days Parade today for the 50th anniversary. So as you can see, people are setting up chairs, getting ready. Hustle and bustle going on. If you are interested in coming down, there's still plenty of parking and plenty of space all up and down Main Street, McCulloch. So come out and enjoy everything that our community has to offer. All right. So if you have joined us this morning and you are looking forward to the parade, please let us know, what are you most looking forward to seeing today? Are you looking for a specific group? And if you're watching from outside of the area, if this is something that you've watched when you were a kid, maybe you participated when you were younger, let us know where you are now and what you're up to. We'd be glad to hear from you. And of course, we'll pass along any shout outs that we see. Once again, welcome to the 50th anniversary London Bridge Days Parade in beautiful Lake Havasu City, Arizona. In case you're wondering why our sound is off occasionally, we're still doing some setup here on the street. And they are playing some copywritten music over the loudspeakers from the presentation booth. So we are trying to avoid any copyright infringements. So that is why you will have some interruptions as far as sound, at least until the parade starts, in which case we will go completely open. Dottie, thank you again for joining us. We always enjoy your commentary, so welcome. And watching from Davenport, Iowa. Thank you for the question, Dottie. The parade starts at 10 a.m., so we are a little bit um, early, but we wanted to make sure that we could let everybody know that we will be online and live and not miss out on anything that might come up. Alrighty, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We are slowly building up our audience here. Um, you will see on the parade route this morning the Rotary Club up and down the street. They are providing the Rotary coins. Now, if you're not familiar with these are every year they have a rotary coin that is produced. Each one is individual and unique. They sell them through London Bridge Days Parade and then they retire them. So this year marks the 50th anniversary and the 50th coin that they have produced, and it will be the last coin that they will produce. So if you are wanting to get a commemorative coin, make sure that you see the Rotary Club today and get your commemorative 50th anniversary coin. Again, we have copywritten music running in the background, so we're going to be talking over that or going silent for just a few minutes. Lynette, thank you so much for joining us today, and how exciting that you watched the bridge open 50 years ago. And thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us on this beautiful morning.
Yes, Marnie, just letting you know that yes, you will be able to watch it later. We're going to keep the stream up, just like we've kept every year's up. So if you scroll on back or you tag it or like it, it actually will pop up in your memories. So if you share it out as well, it'll also pop up in your memories. So definitely like, share, subscribe, and you can catch this one, and it makes great for years later as blackmail. Um, a lot of reminders to when they go on that date or something. Go ahead and bring up the video of them walking in the band and things like that. So this has been a Havasu tradition, and this time we are going to be sponsor free, commercial free, ad free, all the other things free, because there's the 50th celebration. We thought, why not? Let's just give it to the community exactly as they want it and see all of Havasu's fineness. For those who have been out here since about 6 this morning, when they start setting up, the coffee truck just pulled up. So if you're up and they already have a line. They just literally open the door and they're already 4 deep. So if you are looking for a coffee and you are on Main Street, McCulloch right now, come on down right next to Legends and grab a coffee from the coffee truck. You might see me run over there in about 5 minutes.
Did you actually say the words "come on down"? That's a $5 fine. So this is it, number 50. Lake Havasu City founder Robert McCulloch brought the stone bridge in 1968. He was paid approximately $2 million. Most of the old folks here in town know the story. For those of you who are new, yep, he bought a bridge and brought it over, brought it in pieces across the Atlantic Ocean via the Panama Canal to Los Angeles. And then they took 3 years putting it together, leading to the October 1971 dedication. The City of London decided to replace the bridge because it was sinking. So I guess it wasn't London Bridge is falling down, it was London Bridge is sinking.
London Bridge was sinking fast.
So Lake Havasu City, which now has a population of about 60,000 people, put the bridge over the channel, which wasn't a channel. They turned a peninsula into an island. The,
something to cross.
the things you'll do to sell land in the Arizona desert. This parade has been going on for years, and the old joke is there anybody watching the parade since everybody seems to be in it? Well, truth be known, there are a lot of people lining the street right now. If you are getting toward the center of Lake Havasu City or plan on coming down, know that traffic is going to be snarled. You'll want to get to the downtown area from below and come back up today. If you're watching our stream today, make sure you leave comments so we have something to talk about. Otherwise, it's just going to be Drake and I rehashing old times.
And there are some old times here. Because I know you've been watching the parade since, wow, early
Yeah.
80s?
Thanks a lot.
Well, I could tease you about the gray hair before you watched it, but yeah, I didn't even grow facial hair when I first watched my parade. Oh, I'm getting smacked by the technician telling us to introduce ourselves again. So
Why?
she hits me all the
We're
time
just
during broadcast.
two guys who were walking down the street, and this lady walked up to us in a red shirt and a big hat and said, "Here's a microphone. Have at it."
That happens a lot in our profession. Yeah. But no, I'm Drake Finney. I'm here with the world famous, world renowned man, myth, and legend, Christopher Rolando.
Oh, Lord.
If you ever want to learn to sell something, just spend 5 minutes with you.
Yeah, true. By the way, just in case you're tuning in for the first time, if you are a business in town, we do sell advertising on these streams with lots of games. Last night, you guys were calling the game.
We're calling the game. We're doing the homecoming game. It was
Close.
Yes, it was real close, 47-0. And I still was on the edge of my seat. So I don't know what Mr. Becker and Coach Thompson said to the boys before the game, but they were fired up. Jill's asking us what time it starts. It starts about 9.
Well,
Or no, 10.
We're in the other time zone.
We're in another time zone,
It
yes.
kicks off at 10 o'clock up at the corner of Acoma and McCulloch. It'll take I'd say about 15 minutes to get down to where we are, and then about another 15, 20 minutes to get down to Capri. Now, that's if everything is optimal, which it rarely is.
Well, and that's what I was thinking. I mean, it depends on who's leading the parade, too. It's I know we're looking at the police department. They tend to go through pretty quickly at times.
Yeah,
but,
they do.
The 4x4 crew, they're going to take as much time as they want.
Today's judging will be celebrating 50 years of the London Bridge, and all entries are going to be judged on creative interpretation of the theme. The bridge's half-century in its new home and the unforgettable decade of what came before. We also have some Havasu originals coming down. Now, I'm not sure what they mean by that, Havasu originals.
I've heard Havasu originals. I heard Havasu pioneers.
Yeah.
Which I scratched my head saying, when did that exactly begin or start? But I guess it's a group that's formed on Facebook, and it's a bunch of the ones that either were first pioneers of starting businesses or moving in and maybe the first on your street. I know one of our grand marshals is one of the first babies born in Havasu's hospital. And they're so entrenched. I mean, it's Aaron Bracamani as the grand marshal, and I had to laugh at that because I learned typing from his father and went to school with him and graduated with him, and now I teach with his daughter in math.
It all comes around.
It definitely does. That's a family deep, deep roots. Marion's watching from Des Moines, Iowa. Lived in Havasu from 1976 to 2018. She definitely had some doozies of summers out here. Thank you, Marion, for joining us. And leave as many comments as you want. Our technician is having to filter the comments by hand, so give her, let's make her hands burn a little. Hi.
Hi. I don't know. I'm just inviting you guys to come to our holiday bazaar on the 19th and 20th. We're Western Welcome. We're an organization that's philanthropic, and we give to back everything to our community and nonprofit.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We just got an invitation. Western Welcome Club from Arizona, celebrating 50 years. And looking for new members, monthly luncheons, second Tuesday at Chagru's Bridge Room at 11:30. And they've got a holiday boutique coming up on the 19th from 4 to 8 and the 20th from 8 to 2 at the Aquatic Center.
And there we go. There's our public service announcement for this half hour. It is a gorgeous day to be down on McCulloch Boulevard. There's a light breeze blowing from east to west. The sun is out, but if you've got a nice floppy hat, it's perfect, especially if you're follically challenged, as I've become in my 60s.
Or fair complected.
Yes.
Oh, this is a beautiful, gorgeous day. Jan Cassius, thank you for joining us. And we'll be catching them all as they get through here. We do have a nice shade tree to our right. If you call that shade for Arizona.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, whoever set us up didn't put us in the shade. I've been meaning to talk to the head technician here. That's true. She said we're at the mercy of where our internet is. And today we are stealing internet from Jersey's.
Yeah, spin around, take a look at their beautiful balcony patio right now.
This is a great area downtown. This is the Havasu Uptown, where you've got Jersey's, which is one of my favorite places to grab a burger. Across the street, if you take a look up here, we've got, where are we going first with the camera? There's Fug's, a beer and wine bar downtown. Then we've got Legends, formerly Mad Dogs, which is a great place for lunch and cocktails and whatnot. Just down from that is Havasu Cigars, which is a cigar shop with a full bar. Very nice place to hang out. And then, of course, there's the tradition on McCulloch Boulevard. If you're into country music, the Flying X is it's just a wonderful country bar.
Looks like Dodie says, good morning, Havasu. Dodie Lee. Heptus, unavailable to be in person because sick with COVID. Oh, please get better. But happy she can watch the parade on her phone. A pioneer from 1972. Been here for 49 years. Worked at McCulloch Chainsaw Factory for 29 years. Well, Dodie,
What
you
I'd
get
like
better.
to what I'd like to know from some of the older folks who are here. I'd like to know from some of the old folks here is the ones who were here before we even had a stoplight. What is your favorite memory of Havasu? Now, when I got here about 30 years ago, people used to tell me about when the power would go out and everybody would just head down to the lake. Basically, the town closed up and everybody be at the lake. I'd like to hear what your memories are of the early days. And don't be afraid to drop names. We'll embarrass anybody.
That's one of our specialties. This really has been a tradition for young and old. Just everyone kind of closes up the town, descends upon Main Street. That's where I could joke about plenty of free parking and get hit by you, but
Yeah, you would.
yeah, but there's no parking anymore. You're here.
Yeah, if you're not here now, you're planning on having a little bit of a challenge with parking. Let's go live to the drone shot and take a look at this.
I don't have a drone yet.
Oh, okay.
Not yet. And then I have to learn to fly the drone. That's not good either.
The thing I've always worried about is when somebody draws the position of being behind the horses. Fortunately, a number of years ago when I was marching with the Shriners, and they handed me this outfit that made me look like I just came out of the desert, and then they said, I want you to meet Clyde.
Oh.
Now, Clyde is a very, very large camel. And I found out that day that camels are not happy beasts.
No, not at all.
They spit. Their legs kind of go wonky. They don't just go forward and back. They can go left to right. So you're constantly worried whether you're going to get stepped on. And then if it hears something on the opposite side of where you are, it'll lift its head and look over there, and you're going with it.
Oh, it sounds like you and Clyde were good friends. Who's responsible for Clyde this year?
I don't think Clyde is in the parade this year.
But I did see on the list before we do have Shriners also here though, so we'll at least get those fun little cars zipping around. How you doing?
We talk about 50 years since the bridge, and then we have businesses. Sitting up behind us at the far end of the counter at Jersey's, that is Abner. Nope, not there, the other side. All the way over there. There you go. That is Abner and Shirley Schultz, who 40 years ago this week opened the store that would become Michael Allen Furniture and Design. That store has
Wow.
been handed down through the family. The daughters are running it. Now it's operated by Chris Cooley, one of their daughters. And the next generation, their kids, are now coming into the business. So a lot of history in town. 50 years for the bridge, 40 years for that business, and there's a lot of other businesses that have just stood the test of time out here in the desert.
Doty Lee sat there and said when the electricity used to go out in the old days, they used to use CB radios to keep in touch.
Doty, we still do.
Some things never change. Looks like we got our first participants coming around.
Fun fact, all the locals know it, the London Bridge is hollow,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and the riches of the city are hidden inside. It consists of sewage pipes, spiders, few snakes. It was actually hollowed out so they could carry gas and water lines from the island over into the main part of the city, and of course sewage. They didn't bring over all the extra granite, by the way, either. Somewhere that's still sitting around in London.
Somewhere in London, yep.
Here come a bunch of people in some interesting looking vehicles. I can see it just fine. This is the Lake Havasu side-by-sides. This is probably the slowest they've ever driven those things.
Well, it's flat land. It's
Oh,
no
that's
fun to
true.
drive in flat land with a side-by-side. But as the announcer said, we have been labeled the side-by-side capital of the nation.
And a skateboarding capital. Well, there's a lot. No, this afternoon.
Uh-huh.
Are you aware of this?
No.
Oh, there is a huge, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but there is a huge thing going on down at the skate park. We've got skateboarders from all over the world here this weekend.
Wow. So we just had jet ski finals, now skateboard finals. This is
It
the
looks
place to
like-
be.
It looks like Havasu may become the skateboard capital.
The weather's perfect for it.
Well, while they're coming down, we'll talk about it. It's the Lake Havasu Street League Skateboarding, and it's going on. You can watch it online, not by us. It's on DAZN. I don't know how they pronounce that. Coverage starts at 1 o'clock today. Janelle said, born in 1979 here in Lake Havasu, watching from home this year. Well, Janelle, we will try to make it almost as if you're here. Janelle, you want to get up and get us some chips?
Chips, few sodas. I think you're right. I think the side by side is trying to set the record for the slowest they've ever driven. Looks like they're sporting about every flag, representing everywhere they're from as well. Yeah. Peace, love, and rock and roll. That's, I guess, a side-by-side slogan.
Here's another fun fact about the London Bridge. In 1970, Jimmy Webb had a song called P.F. Sloan. Webb refers to the London Bridge when he sings, "The London Bridge was finally found. They moved it to another town. And now all the people gather round to watch the bridge fall down. But I don't think it will no more."
Nope.
And that was the song.
And when they sit there and say, even as far as we can look down the road, we still have more side-by-sides coming.
Now here's the funny thing. Everybody on the side of the road has their phones going and they're taking pictures and video of the cars. And everybody in the cars are videotaping the people on the side. So look forward to a lot of footage on this afternoon, all over Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and any of those other places. Are we still allowed to call it Facebook?
Yep, still allowed to call it Facebook. For a few more months. And looks like that's going to wrap it up for the side-by-side.
If you're watching our broadcast today, feel free to give us any of your Havasu memories. We'd love to hear from what you remember. When I got here, I remember I think there were 2 stoplights and about 4,327 four-way stops.
That's very true. And that was a traffic jam if you came up to a 4-way stop and someone else. Everyone would wave at each other to get going.
Eventually, everybody just get out of the car, crack a beer together, and that would be it for the day.
And that was very common.
Okay, so obviously they were not the slowest people in the parade. We're looking up the street.
Marine Corps League Color Guard marching.
Here's something interesting, too, that the London Bridge that we know is not the first London Bridge
Very true.
that went in that spot. The old London Bridge was built in 1209 and lasted for 600 years.
Wow.
Once again, here comes the Marine Corps League Color Guard. Big round of applause for these guys. True heroes.
The original London Bridge had houses on it. There were houses on it, there were shops. It was actually quite a bit wider than it is here.
Yeah,
and it wasn't unusual. If you look it up online, you can see drawings of it from the early days when it was a community that lived on the bridge. Thinking about how we do things now, sanitation must have been different because that bridge was not hollow.
No, no.
We'll just leave that thought with you.
Coming next, the Marine Corps League and the Color Guard. And there's not much the Marine Corps League does not do in town. Their list of charities they donate to is about the length of 2 arms.
As all of our great citizens here in Lake Havasu know, we have a fantastic fire department that takes care of our community. So behind the Ladies Auxiliary is the Lake Havasu Fire Department. The Lake Havasu City Fire Department has been proudly serving the community for over 50 years. We are an all-hazards fire department operating out of 6 fire stations and responding to have 8,700 calls for service last year. Big round of applause for our fire department.
You can find the Marine Corps League at just about every civic ceremony. These gentlemen come out, put their uniforms on, gun salutes, flag presentations. Incredible group of men.
I've seen them at weddings, you know.
And women.
Their Toys for Tots campaign is kicked off.
And it is Toys for Tots time, so don't forget to put your toys in the bucket. Actually, it's a box,
It's a big box.
and they're everywhere.
New unwrapped.
New toys only, unwrapped, and they go to the right people. Okay, now it's going to get loud here. As I said,
Right on cue. They're reading your script.
Fantastic fire department. We have the Lake Havasu CERT team. The Lake Havasu City CERT team is celebrating their 16th year, marching today with their fire department rehab vehicle, which will soon be replaced with a new rehab vehicle. The Lake Havasu CERT members staff the rehab division at large fire.
you know, I still think that the fire company could make a lot of extra money by detailing cars. I mean, look at these things.
They are immaculate. I thought you were going to say pressure wash the cars, but they could do that too.
Yeah, they could probably blow the car across the road.
Yeah, and got to give it up for our fire department too, because it's one thing to fight a fire, and yes, that's intense, but when you do it in 120-degree heat also,
Yeah, fully loaded up.
Lake Havasu CERT team. Now we have our fantastic Lake Havasu Police Department.
the type of community Havasu is, as the police department comes up, this is about the only time they really get to play with their sirens.
That's true. They get all the lights and the sirens. They get to play with everything.
Coming up now we have our Lake Havasu, we have the Mojave County Sheriff's Department. The Mojave County Sheriff's Office is led by Sheriff Doug Schuster, a great sheriff. It covers approximately 13,500 square miles of incorporated and unincorporated areas of Mojave County. The Sheriff's Office is made up of several different divisions and units to include patrol, search and rescue, canine, volunteer policing, division, safety, and detention. The Mojave County Sheriff's
So I hear Sheriff Doug Schuster is coming up. You got him on there?
Yep, they got him on the boat, right up out the boat there. Our technician is trying to keep them from redlining. Here comes Doug Schuster.
Lake Havasu is also the only place I've ever been where people ride boats down the street.
Exactly, very true.
And there's Sheriff Doug.
Homegrown, too.
The thing that gets me is you notice nobody on that boat is wearing a life vest.
Oh, very true.
all hours of the day. We have the new off-roading map available in the venue.
And speaking of it, right there gives the promo to Weird, Arizona.
Search and rescue, unfortunately, is something that we absolutely need in this area. If you're going out in the desert, at least know where you're going. Bring water. Tell somebody where you're going. And if you get lost in a vehicle, make sure you always stay with the vehicle.
Definitely. I do believe a lot of the vehicles and the volunteers are in the search and rescue. They're all a volunteer organization. And as they pass by, you're going to see why they can find you. They've got about every make and model vehicle you can actually think you'd have to call upon.
Following search and rescue, we have the Desert Hills Fire Department. Desert Hills Fire District celebrates its 50th anniversary in 2021.
We got Desert Hills Fire Department coming in. Desert Hills was the entrance to Lake Havasu City before the highway came through here. In the good old days, where now you get off and there's Pilot and Loves and everything else on 95, when I got here, there was nothing out there. The first light on that street coming into town was when you got to the sheriff's station.
Yep.
It was just this one light, and you still had a long ways to go before you got to the city. But the old road took you right through Desert Hills and then on into the city. Today, Desert Hills is more of a bedroom community of Lake Havasu City. A lot of winter visitors spend their time there.
But they do have their volunteer fire department out there as well, and they have a lot of land to cover because they cover all the way out to Pilot.
Yes, they do.
They cover beyond. They cover I-40 to the California border.
As our technician shows, all the way out to the California border, all of I-40.
Wow.
Next, we have the Lake Havasu Municipality. Lake Havasu City Mayor Cal Sheehy, Vice Mayor Jenny Coates, Council Members David Lane, Michelle Lynn, Tim Dolan, Nancy Campbell, Cameron Moses, and City Manager Jeff Knudsen. Lake Havasu City Incorporated in 1978 operates under the council manager form of government. The City Council is the legislative body responsible for the overall policies and direction of the City Council. It is joined by the Havasu Youth Advisory Council. The Youth Council serves under the mayor and is a voice for all youth in the community, promoting positive change through action and involvement. A big round of applause for our City Council and our mayor.
The political float is on the way. Actually, they're making them walk this year.
Yes,
Must
they
have been
are.
a budget cut.
Dash can't wait to see the kids and the Mimi. And, you know, that's one thing also, when you become mayor, you just got elected to do this walk every year.
Every year.
That's how Cal stays in shape. He practices this walk every time.
Lake Havasu City with their adorable fluffy puppy named Joey. Gary is best known for his work with the Freedom Bridge Project and now for founding the
And the mayor bringing up the rear. He's hard to spot.
new section will be dedicated on October 31st. His dedication and leadership to this project, the Bridgewater Channel
Looks like we got a flyover going on.
veterans, first responders, Native Americans, and Havasu community members. Gary is also a longtime member of the Bridge Rotary Club, an amazing photographer. Gary is often seen around town, camera in hand, where he takes photographs of local events.
It is such a lovely day to be downtown today.
Applause for our Grand Marshal.
Absolutely perfect.
Still lots of events going on in the city.
Gary Myers now coming up, who's taking pictures
Yeah.
of the event.
See, now here we are all photographing Gary, but there he is. Taking pictures back with his dog.
Our 2021, we also have another Grand Marshal, our 2021 Citizen of the Year. The 2021 Lake Havasu Area Chamber of Commerce Citizen of the Year Award is Linda Sieber, Executive Director of the Havasu Community Health Foundation. Linda is an individual that has made an outstanding contribution to the community in service and leadership. Linda has worked tirelessly through the pandemic and has kept vital services available to those in need. There were many challenges and roadblocks that crossed her path, but Linda's passion for helping others has led the way for her to expand the service base of the organization she leads to 25 different programs. Whether it was a family in need of emergency lodging, keeping the shelves off the food bank filled, or being part
We've got another comment here.
Jackie's saying this is awesome, lives in Havasu Heights, is watching the parade from her TV in the living room. And thanks us for putting on Facebook.
Oh, you're very welcome. What else would we have done today, Jackie?
Once again, Linda Sieber, Grand Marshal 2021 Citizen of the Year.
And Linda's coming down on a motorcycle. And a sidecar.
Now our London Bridge Day.
That's riding in style.
Aaron Bracamonte was born on 10/30/1971 in Kingman, Arizona, and delivered by Dr. Donald Nelson. Aaron was held by Mr. C.B. Wood as he blew out a candle on the cake at the 1972 one-year anniversary of the dedication of the bridge.
I can hear a band coming down the street. We've got a band.
Then joined the Navy and served on the USS Suribachi. After the Navy, Aaron returned to Lake Havasu City. He worked as an EMT for River Medical and then for Lake Havasu Fire Department as a paramedic. He is currently a captain and paramedic for the Lake Havasu Fire Department. He celebrates his 50th birthday as we celebrate the London Bridge 50th anniversary. Big round of applause for Mr. Aaron Bracamonte.
And he'll be one I'll be dropping a text to later going, hey, welcome to 50 before I was.
Now
Yeah.
we have the Gadsden Marching Band.
Okay, it's the Gadsden Marching Band we hear coming. So we've got the sounds of Neil Diamond coming down the street. It must be the 7th inning.
And they're a lively bunch, too.
I always feel sorry for the band directors who come here and don't realize that a black suit in Lake Havasu City any time of the year is going to be trouble.
We need to start setting them warning labels. From St. Louis, Arizona. And this is an elementary band. Jersey Grills has chimed in. Very true, very true. And here comes the official Havasu Pioneers. They're representing the 1963 to 1973. I'm wondering about that. Now, this is not period pieces they wore when they brought the bridge over. Well, it depends on what you were doing in the 60s. Kayla Mazarine going right under our screen at the moment. And those kids kind of represent exactly what the people of Havasu did with McCulloch. They followed.
If you've never spent any time in Havasu's Uptown, I'm going to tell you this is a place to be just about any day. It's going to be a
So
lot of
Lake
fun
Havasu
this
Pioneers
afternoon
had
when the
8 total floats with
parade breaks up.
with 3
A lot of
working
places to have lunch
groups
today,
between the floats.
or maybe something to cool you down a
Lake
little bit.
Havasu Pioneers present a short history of pioneer life in the next 8 floats. Starting at the beginning, to be a true Lake Havasu pioneer, we had to have moved to our great town between 1963 and 1973. Banner carried by the Woods family.
1963-73, there was like 4 buildings.
Stars on our journey, this handmade
One being the post office.
Carried by Molly Miller and Jim Bork. Both are London Bridge Days costume contest winners, and Molly is a Havasu pioneer.
So they define a Havasu pioneer as being here
Sailboat
between
float is a representative of the
1963 and
McCulloch family
1970.
and their arrival to Lake Havasu City. On the
I was
float
still
are
in New York.
Sheila McCulloch.
Yeah. Well, they've got 8 stages, they say. So we're going to see the progression. So we'll have to shout out when we see when we got here.
To the land of sunshine and blue water.
So next 8 floats represent
Next
different
float
periods of
represents the
history
McCulloch
in
family's
Lake
life
Havasu.
to the lake. Havasu from all across the U.S. After they survived the Holly Sailmen.
Now, from what we understand, each float represents a different part of the beginning. So I'm guessing here,
Sandel and his family.
the first people arrived at
Paper
Havasu on
airplanes
a
flying out. Give you fun, have Havasu tribute on them. Take a look.
There's a bunch of people wearing their gears.
Next is Scotty's Catering.
Havasu milk delivery. We had that in 1968, according to them. Christine, you're welcome. We're glad we could bring it to you at home.
Now I want to know is when did that dog get here?
Havasu stationery and office supply. Our little school bus represents the original kids that had to ride the bus to Kingman each day because Havasu had not yet built any schools. Younger primary students took a station
There's
wagon.
Steve Greeley representing the first radio station in Lake Havasu City.
Very true.
Not the first remote vehicle.
Elementary and Lake Havasu High School. Educating some of Havasu's first residents' kids. For many years, these 2 schools were Havasu only until the 1960s. Junior highs opened in 1970. Today,
What you're seeing going by are
they are home
representatives
to
of businesses
ASU.
that came to Lake Havasu City and when they got here.
Havasu Jewelers 1964. That's a name I've not heard in a long time. The school bus of
People are, they're still on a short bus.
exactly represents the old time when they used to bus kids up to Kingman, which is why that rivalry was so entrenched for a while.
Havasu Pioneers and Lake Havasu High School Pioneer alumni.
Let's hear it for teachers.
Pioneer teachers.
Some of them we'd actually take back as subs right now.
I'd need all of them.
Oh, yes, we could use them. 71's 50-year reunion.
Just to say congratulations, Lake Havasu, on this special 50th year anniversary of the London Bridge.
Being in charge of the yearbook, we actually have the 71 yearbook in the classroom. DJ Robbie Rob, are we surprisers music involved?
Not a chance.
The London Bridge Loud, 1971.
And it'd probably still be going on like that too.
I think those people have been on that trailer since.
Flag that was on the bulldozer that broke ground on the bridge.
That is a flag that was on the bulldozer when they broke ground for the bridge.
Years of the London Bridge.
More alumni group from LHHS, from Pioneers.
Michael is the grandson of Robert P. McCulloch Sr., founder of Lake Havasu City. Lou Hunt is the artist who immortalized Robert McCulloch, and C.B. Wood with her bronze sculpture located at the east end of the London Bridge. Right on the float is the president of the club, Fred Hahn. He is the artist in charge of creating our newest tile mural of the London Bridge, located on the shattered chic building on McCulloch Boulevard. Also riding is Terry Coella, who was Miss Havasu Senior in 2018-2019. The hand-decorated bar stool will be auctioned off to the highest bidder at the annual bar stool auction, November 6th.
It's interesting this year we have so much history going by.
The money raised helps
There's so much
fund
of the
future
story
public art projects. Big round of applause for Stanley.
This was a true labor of love.
Well, you tell a realtor that there's some dirt for sale and they'll find a way to make it sell.
Stanley Steamer franchise owners are Fred and Leora Bennett and their daughter Sheila Harris. They have owned and operated this business since 1976, are the oldest family-owned franchise in the national system. Sheila was one of the original children in H3 London Bridge Day opening parade with their brother Whitney and their uncle Art Davis. Exceptional people.
So now,
exceptional
last
service
night,
to a cleaner
you
and
guys
healthier
were at
home
the
and business.
homecoming game.
For your carpet,
Yep.
furniture, tile,
It was a
tile,
real
armor,
nail-biter,
floors,
I heard.
cleaning.
Yeah, real nail biter.
To our customers.
The first
About our anniversary
possession was an onside kick. Then they got an interception.
Lake Havasu Museum
So
Cemetery
within the
House.
first 3 minutes, we were up 19 to 0.
Legendary gyroplane out of collection.
And the eventual
What a beautiful piece.
The eventual score was 47 to nothing. They had to have a running clock. But I think about every knight that was in a uniform got to touch the ball that night. So
very nice. Well, I do feel bad for the other team, but oh well.
here comes a staple in the parade, the McCulloch gyrocopter.
This was another idea of Robert McCulloch. I mean, the gyrocopters had been around, but he began experimenting with a new way to put these together. This has been on display on golf around Lake Havasu over time. Looks like to be fun to fly.
Now we've got our Thundercat, Thunderbolt Middle School, their music department and band.
Lake Havasu, the Unified School District. Smoke Tree. Here comes the first two schools in Lake Havasu City. Elementary representing 1964 through middle school. High and Charlie Elementary are representing 1970.
Now coming through representing the school district, each and every school, all the way from Smoke Tree Elementary, at the end should be the high school. has to be a 5th grade teacher. That's a 5th grade teacher's fire. Coming up, Havasu Pies Elementary's Teacher of the Year. Didn't say who exactly it was, but Starline, I think, representing the 60s.
Jamaica Elementary School. Smith. Once again, they're representing the 2000 Jamaica Elementary School. Oro Grande Classical Academy. Oro Grande Classical Academy.
We were talking earlier about the
Oro Grande Classical
skateboarding
Academy
championship
rounding out
going
the
on.
Walkers
This is
representing
the SLS
present day.
Championship Tour. Lake Havasu City, stop number 2. So today will be the
Big round of applause for Oro Grande.
Today's the 30th.
Yes.
So today will be the final day.
Next we have the Lake Havasu High School cheer
If
team.
you want to get down to the skate park,
Here we have the 2021 Lake Havasu High School.
It really will be. That'll be a blast. And second day, or second stop, everyone's still fresh. Everyone, injuries are not plaguing the group right now.
Under direction of Coach Christian Rasgut and Coach Marina Walker. This year the program is hoping to make an impact in the community by becoming more involved in supporting the awesome city of Lake Havasu. To all the businesses that support all the athletic programs.
By the way, attendance for the SLS is free.
Lake Havasu High School band.
The technician was just smacking me. She's a little happy. The cheer squad's coming down. And on the right-hand side, the 6-foot cheerleader was the baby she tossed into your arms when she came back to work. And to correct the announcer, it's Coach Razik, not Razduk. Here comes the homecoming float. We had our king and queen crowned last night.
Looks like that's where that ought to go down the street.
That would be a warm one.
It was a great homecoming game last night. I was actually proud to announce that victory. We beat Estrella 47-0. Rated number 12.
Through the decades, yes. Principal Becker right there in the front with our homecoming court. More of our homecoming court looking rather relaxed. Mr. Zampona.
Now is the Lake Havasu High School Band of Knights. Here is the Lake Havasu High School Band of Knights. The band is under the direction of Kimberly Schreiber, and Assistant Director Greg
Mrs.
Schreiber.
Becker and Miss Williams with us as well.
Elliott, Sierra Watts, Frankie Hernandez, and drum major Casey Conlon. Let's take a listen to this great band.
And before the band gets here, leading the way, the homecoming king and queen. Crowned last night during the game, and an amazing game. Kenny Mancuso, Dane Burnett.
I remember when Dane Burnett was Dane.
Exactly, yes. And here comes more of the staff from LHUSD. And here comes the Fighting Knights, Band of Knights,
High School Band of Knights.
led by Kimberly Shriver. Donna, your pleasure. We're thankful we could do it for you.
Truck driver training vehicle, followed by MCC's Boomer the Bighorn and MCC staff.
You know, when you're getting older, the only thing you can think of when you see the band go by is how hot are those uniforms?
And those are the new ones that the actually city let them help get them a few years ago.
And degree programs, including
Before the city passed the bond and the override, the band was using uniforms 20 years old.
to a variety of health professional programs, such as nursing, surgical technology, medical assisting, and physical therapy assistant. Registration for
The teacher who is in charge of the band now, Miss Schreiber, found her original uniform that she was wearing and issued it out to a student when she was a teacher now. But the city said no more of that. We're stepping in and making it right. Now comes MCC with Boomer. You and I have been in the business long enough. We know what it's like in those costumes. And he's got a couple more miles to go.
All I know is I'm enjoying the part of life where now we get to sit on the sidelines in the sun, but I'm not complaining too much.
Oh, it is nice. Because there's many years you and I were walking the kids down the road.
Carrying the water bottles.
Pulling wagons. Throwing candy.
MCC, a huge part of the community. Many degrees can be found through there.
boy, do we need new truck drivers, according to what you see in the ports of Long Beach and Los Angeles. So, truck driving school, thank you.
Don't let this make you too nervous, but the next float is actually a guy learning to drive a very large truck.
And he's taking it slow and steady.
All right, let's see that 360.
And if you do have your CDL and you want to drive a bus, talk to the school district. They are looking for bus drivers as well, both for local routes and travel.
Cancer Association of Lake Havasu.
In partnership with Sahabi Community College. It's a good place to get your start, and trucking, not a bad life.
The Havasu Community Health Foundation and our 29 program salutes the 50th anniversary of the London Bridge. Welcome the ladies of the Cancer Association of Havasu in 70s style. Since 1999, this group has helped raise awareness of the importance of cancer screenings in our community. Low-cost cancer screenings are available for everyone. Contact the Cancer Association of Havasu. We thank the community for supporting us at our October Breast Cancer Awareness Walk and our November Elegant Evenings Fashion Show. Join us as we celebrate all cancer survivors.
You've been a part of that fashion show.
Decked out in orange
Yes, I
to
have.
bring awareness
We're
to
talking about
hunger,
the Cancer Association of
and our
Lake
Havasu
Havasu.
Community Health
They do
Foundation
a lot of
Food Day.
great
This
work. They're
organization
raising
also
money
delivers
for
food to seniors and
low-cost breast
shut-ins.
exams
This
and all
past
kinds
year,
of
the
cancer
HCHF Food Bank
screening.
distributed
Boy, is that
512 tons of food to our Lake
that
Havasu
was a slip.
community.
They
Big
just
thanks
finished up the
to
Cancer
the
Walk.
Cancer Society
Michael Allen
Association
Clergy
and the
has
Food Bank.
done the no sleep event, Sleepless in Havasu. And so far, that event with the Havasu Cancer Association has raised over $440,000
That's amazing.
for low-cost breast exams.
Now, Michael Allen's been doing that for a long time also. This is a tradition. That's a staple.
Veterans Health Awareness. This is
A
a
lot
strong
of work goes
supporter for
into
our veterans treatment court.
to
It stands for our veterans
donation
who
to
need
Cancer
to and from
Association.
court,
And of course,
health-related
the staff
testing and counseling. The foundation also serves homeless veterans, COPD boot camp, and transitional housing. We leave no veteran behind. The Havasu Community Health Foundation Student Assistance Program provides services for our youth.
And they're having a good time.
Close to school, they also carry their emotional and general life issues with them every day. This program is in our schools and is dedicated to peer-to-peer support to build self-confidence and to overcome barriers as they may achieve, advance, and succeed in school.
Havasu
These
Community
women are from
Food Bank
Lake Havasu
from the Havasu Community Health
Terry Lee Thompson,
Exactly.
London Bridge Days winner.
Like you said, doing your shopping, just throw one or two things in the cart, and the donation quick as you walk out the door.
Once again, big round of applause for the Lake Havasu Community Health Program. And here come all of our
30 years now,
past
and it never ceases to
Lake
amaze
Havasu
me that
City
you go to a
senior
parade
pageant winners. They're
and they're
still
driving
beautiful.
boats down the street. When I first came here and saw that, that was something I'd never seen before.
Well, it's an easy way to make a float.
And then, of course, the bandstand is the boat.
A boat, yep. And multiple boats down the road, multiple bandstands.
If you're watching us online and listening to us, we would love to hear any of your memories of Havasu. What you thought the first time you got here? Keep it clean. Things that you remember from the old days.
Coming up, like Havasu City pageant winners.
Philanthropy is an independent 501c3 nonprofit organization. Our teams visit assisted living facilities, nursing homes, a hospital, and a skilled nursing unit. VA clinic and schools and attend local community events. We currently have over 40 teams, including dogs, cats, and a mini horse working in our community.
But that's your job. And boy, do you get good tips. Oh, yeah.
Lake Havasu City Therapy.
Therapy pets coming down, including a miniature horse. Therapy pets make multiple appearances throughout the hospital or the schools. Therapy pets will even make their appearance during finals on the high school campgrounds just to make them know that everything's okay.
Established in 1941, Civil Air Patrol is the official auxiliary of the U.S. Air Force. In that role, it performs about 90% of U.S.
Right. And in the back,
Look at this guy.
he actually dwarfs the pony. Of course, I do have to give it up for the French Bulldog that said, no, I'm not walking anymore. Carry me.
No, the bulldog just has its own turn.
Yeah. They could have put that Bulldog just on the Mastiff.
There's the hero.
Oh, yes, the true hero of the day. That's dedication.
They told her she could have a different job. She said what? And give up show business?
Exactly. Civil Air Patrol coming on through.
Lake Havasu City military moms serving our veterans and active duty military and their families. Big round of applause for our military moms.
The military moms coming up. Now that is a job and a half. Greeting and welcoming the veterans coming back while at the same time keeping the home fires lit.
Led by the boat brokers. There's a business that's been in town for a long time.
Most of these boats probably came from the boat brokers.
Boat brokers family have been doing volunteer work throughout Lake Havasu City for all the years that I've been here and even before. Just good people. One of the things that's always been amazing about Lake Havasu City is the amount of volunteerism. There's so much to be done, and there are so many people who are willing to jump in and do the work when they need to.
Yeah, that's one thing I always chuckle about. Where?
Good. How you doing, Mayor?
How you doing, Mayor?
Hi. Enjoy. Mayor Shealy stopping by.
Now that he shows his dedication, he walked all the way down. He's greeting everyone walking all the way back. Mayor Shee, come. I'm gonna get him on air. So go ahead and tell us about everything going on today.
You know, we are celebrating our golden anniversary here in Lake Havasu City, and we have our annual London Bridge Days Parade. It's great to see all of our citizens out here enjoying the great weather and the great community spirit we have here in Lake Havasu City.
Definitely, and now you're walking back up the path?
I am. I walked down, and now I'm walking back up.
All right.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch the rest of the parade.
All right, my friend. We'll catch you soon.
Thank you.
For our middle school age students.
I always notice he tries to walk back to me as fast as he can when I have a mic. Yeah. He knows I'm going to shout. But that's one of the great things also in this community. Your city workers and, politicians, they'll stop and they'll have lunch with you. They'll talk to you. You're in Havasu, you're one of the people.
I'll stop and have lunch if anybody is buying.
Yes, you will.
The Lake Havasu City Kiwanis Club. Big round of applause.
Kiwanis Club coming down also with Key Club. That's fine.
Is the gala dinner, which is being hosted by Mayor Shealy at the London Bridge Resort at 5:30. I'm not sure if tickets are still available, but you can find out by going to lhcaz.gov/London Bridge 50th anniversary. Look around, you'll find it.
Yeah. Now comes down Kiwanis sponsoring Key Club, which right now Key Club's looking at their vice president sitting next to us because I've got him taking pictures for yearbook.
Those are my students!
The technician's a little happy. And
Federation certified gym with a certified coaching staff. Universal is sure to provide you with the best training experience Mojave County has to offer. Once again, Universal Sonics.
I have always had to give props to the Sonics gymnastics team. It's like they don't walk the path.
They acrobatize their way down.
Exactly.
It's word. It's now trademarked by Havasu Online TV.
There we go. We'll trademark that one for sure. Acrobaticize their way down. But half the path is done on their hands. One of the largest youth organizations in the town. Doing everything acrobatics, cheer competitions.
All right, Universal Sonics. Big round of applause.
Do something down there, or they did already. They're gonna do a stunt down
Love to
there.
see when the youth are occupied with great activity.
Somebody picks you up
Coming up now is Lakeview
And tosses you in the air, in the street.
Memory Care residents of the senior living community.
A lot of these young ladies have been working with each other since they were just tiny tights.
Assisted living services
and
and
some of the
memory care
coaches
for
started
residents
out.
diagnosed
Exactly.
with Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. The community administers memory care through Frontier renowned lifestyle program, a Montessori-inspired approach that seems to enrich the lives of its residents. Big round of applause for Lakeview Terrace.
That defied gravity.
Oh, you can tell it's almost lunchtime down here. I smell ribs.
Oh, yes. Definitely.
Jerseys behind us.
Now coming down,
Lakeview Terrace Memory Care.
Lakeview Terrace Memory Care, showing all the different activities that they can do.
Walking alongside a 1988 Hummer is Senator Sonny Borelli and State House member and candidate Leo Biasucci. Chris Clay driving his 1973 Corvette with his passenger, our own Mojave County Assessor and current Mojave County Republican Central Committee Chairman, Jeannie Kench. Next is Joanna Gillette, Mojave County District 3 Director, Mojave County Planning and Zoning Commissioner, Arizona Federation of Republican Women Region Director, and the current President of the London Bridge Republican Women. Next is
One of our larger groups coming in, the GOP. And Sonny's got a mic. Why am I not surprised?
Leave it up to Sonny Borelli, our great senator.
Leo Biasucci, homegrown.
Somebody actually let Senator Borelli have a microphone.
Hey, at least he got the mic on that side. He usually takes our mic and goes walking down the street with it. So I'm still not sure we're totally safe. But you want to talk about someone serving the people and being of the people, that is Senator Sonny Borelli right there.
American flag float, displaying Lee Greenwood's patriotic music and being pulled by George Link of Arizona flags and flagpoles. Next we have Ted Boyd driving his 1973 Volkswagen Thing. Right along him, my good friend Sam Scarmato. I was supposed to be riding in that car with Ted, but they asked me to MC, but they had a few things to hear they wanted me to say about myself, so I'm going to do some grandstanding. So I've announced the candidacy of Lake Havasu City Council for 2022. I also announced all the football games and varsity sports at the high school, and currently serve on the Planning and Zoning Commission. But Ted Boyd is our PC coordinator for District 3. My name is David Diaz.
Havasu has always had the reputation of being the most patriotic town.
Number 16, the Lake Havasu Black Belts. The Lake Havasu Black Belt Academy celebrates 52 years, and we celebrate 14 years in Lake Havasu, building tomorrow's leaders, one black belt at a time. Ages 3 to 100. Martial arts combines fun with Fourth degree black belt and certified instructor Karen Fresh supervises the team of instructors in Taekwondo, forms, self-defense, sparring, weapons, and breaking boards. Classes for all ages meet weekdays. Stop by for a free lesson to live a better desert life. Remember, the family that kicks together sticks together. Location on North Lake Havasu Avenue next to Sherwin-Williams. The Black Knights. Vietnam veterans, our true heroes. Our organization mission is never again will one generation of veterans abandon another. Hear, hear. Disabled Veterans of America, Bud Watts Commander, Omer Emir Jr., Vice Commander. The DAV, with the help of volunteer drivers, transport veterans to and from VA hospitals in Phoenix and Prescott, as well as helping vets and their families get services they are entitled to. Never forget our vets. Next is the Havasu Masonic Lodge. Havasu Masonic Lodge number 64, free and accepted Masons of Arizona. To be one, ask one, or come and visit us at the lodge. Thursday morning for coffee and donuts. On the float is Philip Avery Master, Dwayne Fernandez, Senior Warden, and Bob Linden, Jr. Warden, plus other brothers of the lodge. The Lake Havasu Masonic Lodge.
Yep. Say, well, veterans coming down, but now we've got the Masonic Lodge coming down. Kind of feel familiar with a few of them.
Established in 1996, still going strong. Chiefs age range from 5 to 12 with no tryouts needed. Interested in signing up? Grab one of the flyers if you would like more information on how to become a Lake Havasu Chief.
Where's Phil Avery?
Round of applause for the Chiefs.
I think he just shouted us to get back to lodge.
He probably did, yes.
Now comes the most energetic group that has been waiting to come down this path the whole time, and it is the Lake Havasu Youth Organization Football League Chiefs and their cheer squads. Signs upside down, but she's got all the heart in the world. They've been doing that since the front of the line.
All our programs are always free and open to the public. The Lake Havasu, Friends of the Library.
You know, for all you kids out there, back in the good old days, you didn't get to get books on your little computers and whatnot.
Library.
You can still go there. They still have books.
That's wonderful.
Access, learn things.
They've got an amazing teen section in that library. So.
The Para-Rebel Marching Band. This is the junior high 7th and 8th grade band from the Para Elementary School located on the Colorado River Indian Tribal Reservation, just south of Poston, Arizona. The school has about 200 students. As part of the Parker Unified School District, they are playing a song called The Words of Our Life.
The Para-Rebel Band just down the road a little bit. So we're looking at quite a bit of break till the next group gets here.
Wonderful. This means we have to talk about interesting and exciting things. Got anything?
This Wednesday, the junior varsity football team will be taking the field one more time at Lee Barnes Field, where they're hoping to keep their winning streak alive.
Let me guess, will you be broadcasting that game?
We will be broadcasting that game. So my students in the classroom really enjoy when I broadcast the game because then I don't talk much the next day, especially if we win. Mm-hmm.
Lake Havasu City, there was an unimproved road that got you just about here, and if you wanted to continue south from here toward Parker and whatnot, you were basically on trails.
Very true. And I think occasionally the Amazon drivers still go that route. So.
Probably not wrong.
So coming in the screen now, flips for gymnastics. Oh, flips for fun. Gymnastics. The tech is in my ear buzzing again.
You know, they made 2,702 flights into Lake Havasu City from the Midwest, from Canada. In fact, just last night I was having cocktails out on Pittsburgh Point with a family who was here. They were here because her father came down on one of those flights and said, yeah, we'll buy some cheap land. And here they are 50, 60, 50, almost 60 years later, and look what it became.
Exactly. People thought McCulloch was crazy with his vision, but if you could fast forward it for 50 years and let him see what it looks like now, I think he'd go, yep, that's exactly what I had in mind. Little one going the other side.
We got an escapee out there.
Yep, Mom got it. Here comes our flips for fun.
So many great events happen here in Lake Havasu City, not just this parade. We just had the SBA World Jet Ski Finals. That's always exciting. And if you think you've seen jet skis before, until you see these guys, especially the show under the bridge.
Oh, that is amazing. That show under the bridge is just You want to talk about defying gravity and water and physics sometimes.
The Shriners have 19 orthopedic hospitals and 3 burn centers for children in Canada, Mexico, and the United States of America. The Phoenix Shrine Temple currently has more than 2,100 children
Mm-hmm.
in the Southwest undergoing care and treatment.
Yeah.
If you know a child that needed orthopedic, spinal, burn, cleft, or palate care, and many other problems, please contact a Shriner to learn where to arrange
Oh.
for admission to a Shriner's Hospital for Children. To become a Shriner, you must be a third-degree Master Mason and anywhere in the world.
Yes, nights and
They
nights
have
of it. And a
Masons,
lot of them
Buddhists,
sometime are
monks
just
all across
giving
the
it a
state.
shot, testing out new options and new ideas.
Your area and ask for membership information. You must have one to be one. Just in the past 20 years, more than 9,900 physicians have received residency education or postgraduate fellowships at one of the 22 Shriner hospitals for children.
This year we've got a few
Kingman
Shriners hanging around.
Canine.
Shriners basically exist to support the Shriners Hospital for Children. It costs about $1 million a day to keep the Shriners Hospital going. And that is beside the point of frivolity and everything else you see. That's what's fun about it.
Exactly. It was the Masons that wanted to do something a little bit extra. And turned out they wanted to also find something to support. And they decided it was time for the kids to be supported.
They participate in
And
more than
Shriners are
25
definitely, what do you say, a little extra. They are.
These little
Or
cars
should I say,
represent
really smart.
fiercely the most visible parades in the nation. Or the front. Today's Shriners are found in Kingman, Phoenix, Beef Creek, Scottsdale, Payson, Patrick Johnson, and many other areas, including all the way from Lake Havasu City area.
In years past, we've had huge contingent of Shriners here. The past couple of years, it hasn't happened because the Grand Assembly didn't happen. Not the Grand Assembly, but the Assembly didn't happen. So we're hoping to see them all come back to Lake Havasu City in the future. If you'd like to find out more about how you can help the Shriners and Shriners Charities or become a Shriner, all you got to do is run up to one of those guys with a fez on their head and ask about it.
That's all. To be one, ask. Looks like we've got a couple more coming down here in a little bit.
Coming up is the Lake Havasu Sea Scouts. Lake Havasu Sea Scouts is a co-ed high adventure nautical program for youth 14 to 21 years old. A youth program to promote good citizenship, improve boating skills, water safety, build self-esteem, and emphasis on responsibility and teamwork. Because memories are not made by playing video
Oh, I
games.
tell you, the smell coming from Jersey's just,
Oh, that kills me.
yeah.
The Lake Havasu Sea Scouts.
And Pete's doing it intentionally. Pete, I swear he comes out with something just to walk away with it.
Yep. Today it was kind of hard to recognize Pete inside of jerseys because everybody is dressed just like Pete.
Just like Pete. In true Pete attire.
Marching
Mm-hmm.
with the Sea Scouts.
That's what really threw me off, all the bald heads. Used to just seeing his 6-foot bald head.
992, led by Cubmaster Chris Aldridge. Cub Scouts Pack
Which, when he
992
hears this broadcast, I'm sure he'll let us know.
kindergarten and fifth grade.
Oh,
Cub Scouting is fun for the whole family. Hands-on learning and achievement that puts kids in the middle of the action. The third jump for
you just died.
play and for life. Cub Scouts Pack 992 Scouts are learning
Am I back?
skills and experiencing the outdoors. If you would like to join our pack and be part of the scouting adventure, please contact Sheila at 907-539-2342. Cub Scouts Pack 992.
It's good that we have technicians here who fix things when we break them.
Well, there's one thing definitely Havasu Wheat's always been vicious on, which is definitely batteries.
Yes.
Your
We,
car battery only lasts half the time, they say.
we've got Cub Scout Pack 992 coming down. Speaking as a scout, great organization. So you take a whole bunch of kids that you train to take care of themselves out in the wilderness and put them on a hot street marching.
And give them swords.
Yeah, give them swords. Cub Scouts are a lot like the Shriners. You want to be one? Ask one. Oh,
I think you got some competition there.
I'm thinking. It looks like I have some competition here.
Cub Scout Pack 88, it looks like coming through now.
I believe
Oh,
that's
85.
85.
Cub Scout Pack 85 is Our Lady of the Lake. Our Lady of the Lake Catholic School is a classical-based education with small class sizes through spiritual, intellectual, and social information in the Catholic tradition. We empower our children to be courageous Catholics, formed in the virtues of Christ, to know Him and make Him known forever. Our Lady of the Lake currently has 91 students in preschool through 5th grade. We have plans to increase in size one grade a year through 8th grade. Groundbreaking for a new school building will start next summer. For more information on Lady of the Lake Catholic School, please call 928-855-0154. Our Lady of the Lake Catholic School.
Well, you know it's getting toward lunchtime because the coffee truck is leaving.
Oh.
Now we're waiting for the margarita truck.
We need one of those.
Really do.
Yeah.
Play mariachi music and run down the street chasing it with your $20 bill.
The technician said she's got a trailer to fix up.
I like how you think.
Free from some radio station at some point.
Lots of young members of Our Lady of the Lake Church, all attending their preschool and classes there. We're getting down to the last few ones. Our Lady of the Lake has her own bus for it. I stand corrected. We have a lot more still coming.
We are 136 strong. We support the community by sponsoring pack quilts, fishing quilts, bins, and other items, and donating various facilities. Last month, our community outreach donated 255 quilts and other items to 16 different facilities. Lake Havasu Stitches Quilt Guild. Beautiful work.
You know, people used to think that quilters just sat around and stitched quilts. But at least once a year, they come out and walk a mile and a half.
Yes, they do, and a lot of their quilts actually are dedicated to different organizations to be raffled off or to commemorate different events.
Singers Company, we sing, we dance, we have fun. Singers Company, Lake Havasu. Next is Havasu Heights.
At the register, they have a big
Havasu Heights is a locally owned and operated and signage announcement stop friendly booking to guide your hikes. Havasu Heights is offering 4 hikes at Sarah Park this season, which runs on weekends from now through April. Your
You know, we have so many different clubs and things in this town that you don't even know about till you come to a parade. Did you know about the Lake Havasu Singers Company?
No clue.
Another great organization is Honorees of Havasu.
Coming up next, Havasu Hikes. So when we talked about the search and rescue community, in case you want to not get lost in the first place, talk to Havasu Hikes. House Havasu, long time in Havasu.
This is a volunteer organization, not profit.
Now, the Cinderella Scholarship Program has been in Havasu easily since early 70s.
And what do they do?
They're technically what should be known as beauty pageants,
Gotcha.
but now all goes through scholarships towards their educations and promotes activities and philanthropic events all throughout Havasu. All different age ranges, mini miss, teen. As they even keep their poise and teen, no matter how much I try to make Isabel laugh.
Okay, here's something you don't see every day coming down. We talked about the IJSBA championships here in Lake Havasu City. Well, have you ever seen one coming down the street?
That's new. I've not seen that before.
Yes, we now have jet skiing on McCulloch Boulevard.
Where was that when I worked for you? You could have bribed me with that. I would have come into work more.
No kidding.
Guardians of the Children going through right now on their motorcycles.
What's amazing is to get more than 3 Harleys in the same shot and not one of them's being pushed.
Exactly. Next up, Telesis. Charter school in Lake Havasu. Located right across from the high school. I remember the first graduated class of Telesys that I can remember was in 1990. They
Wow.
had a graduating class of 1.
One person.
So definitely the top 10% of the class.
That is a graduation ceremony that I could sit through.
Lions Club coming through next. Awana established back in 1983. Providing opportunity for youth and children here in Lake Havasu. Fort Mojave Tribal Band.
The Fort Mojave Tribal Band. The Tribal Band was established in 1906 and is under the direction of Amanda McCord. The band consists of musicians, flag carriers, twirlers, walkers, and a majorette. The band has approximately 300
Now I wonder what the other bands think about it when they see this band coming down on the float.
No kidding. This was the smart band.
Western Arizona Humane Society coming up next. Doing a huge service to the four-legged friends in our community. Making sure they can find as many a good home as they can.
And if you're thinking about getting a little friend for your home, stop by. See who's already there.
I can say happily that 6 of our four-legged friends in our family all came from the Humane Society, all rescues, and I valued every day with them. Absolutely wonderful animals there. So, as Chris said, if you're thinking about getting any four-legged friend, cat, dog, ferret, hamster, go check with them first. See who's waiting, find his forever home.
And maybe you're considering having children.
Definitely go with the four-legged friend.
Go with a dog. That must be the Grand Marshal doggy. He's got his own car.
Oh, yes. Riding in style.
Every once in a while, you find a float that's really a gas. I had to do it.
You did. You did have to. A&B Propane. Been having this for quite some time. And they brought the whole fleet out.
Yeah, they did.
Well, if you haven't guessed yet, you can reach A&B Propane by 928-854-4099.
Funny how you knew that.
It's just something that came to me, you know. Just a vision.
Isn't it funny that all those trucks run on diesel?
Yeah. I just thought about the one. Yeah. Doug just chimed in on chat, said that jet ski was cool. I think all of us want to play on that jet ski now.
I think so. But I want one that you can drive down the street, and then when you get to the launch ramp, hit a button, the wheels come up.
Exactly, straight into the water. Well, it's a very, very small known fact that the person that first drew up the schematics for the jet ski lived in Parker.
Really?
And while riding in the hills in Parker and falling off his motorcycle a couple times, he said there has to be a way to do this without getting hurt. He drew up the first plans for a jet ski. Took it to every American car dealer, motorcycle shop. They said no way anyone would buy this. He then took it to Kawasaki.
And there's
the
the
rest was
history.
history.
Another great service club here in Lake Havasu City is Seroptimus. Always worth finding out more about.
Stroudman's president, just known as Stephanie, coming through now.
Lake Havasu Girl Scouts is a part of the Arizona Cactus Pine Council. Girl Scouting is celebrating
Kawina Tapscott, the Seroptimist of the Year this year.
always looking to be a positive presence in our community. Girl Scouting is the biggest girl organization worldwide. Cookie sale, which starts in January, is the largest entrepreneurial program in the United States.
You know, gotta say, for Havasu 2, we have a lot of wonderful, classic-looking cars that
Yes,
come
we
out
do.
just for the parade and seem to disappear after that.
If you've never been to Havasu's Uptown on a Thursday night, this time of year is the time to be here. Classic cars in the entire Uptown district.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a parking spot you can find that doesn't have a classic car in it. And it's a great way to spend the evening. Start at the lower part of the street, find where you're going to go eat, go check out some cars, grab some food, and then hit the other side of the street.
There you go.
Behind the Girl Scouts, we have a great organization here in Lake Havasu, and that is the Lake Havasu Elks Lodge. The Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks Lodge number 2399 is committed to building stronger communities through charitable work and donations.
Girl Scouts now coming through.
And not a
Getting
cookie
that
to be
time
seen.
again. Yeah, not a cookie yet. They're loading them up. They're getting them ready. The technician said Thin Mints are false advertising. When I'm slamming a box a day, yeah, I guess so.
Lake Havasu Elks Lodge. Behind them, we have the Elkettes.
I wonder if anybody knows they stole that moose. Oh, that's an elk. Never
Elk,
mind.
it's an elk. But no, I don't think. I think they steal it once a year. But the Elks organization in Havasu, tons of scholarships and opportunities they provide for the youth.
Plus,
through the high school.
great food.
Oh, spaghetti dinner Tuesday night. It's a divin'.
Assisted living. Mile Markers creates a positive impact on the quality of life for the families we serve throughout all of Mojave County. Mile Markers provides music, occupational, physical, and speech therapy services, after-school programs, adult day programs, employment opportunities for individuals with disabilities, transition to employment curriculum, individual rehabilitation support, and supervised visits, family connections, programs, and tutoring for parents.
And also a huge shout out to everyone who's still walking this parade route right now. What most people don't know is these people have been tucked behind Smiths in the back loading dock and just coming out next and next and next.
Yep. They've been hanging out there since about 7 o'clock this morning.
Yep.
First place commercial float. Havasu City Properties has been helping buyers and sellers with their real estate needs since 2007.
Oh, look, there's realtors in the parade.
They will find you a home, whether you think you need it or not.
There you go.
Lots of great properties in town. So if you're sitting there in cold country right now, looking at those clouds that are going to snow on you here in a little bit, and want to come out here where it's beautiful, these are the people you need to get in touch with.
Just chase their boat down the street.
Going through, tossing that. Lonnie Stevens, who actually is one of the sponsors of Havasu Online TV when we do any football games.
Mojave County Democrats.
Havasu's silent witness.
Do we talk about them?
Not at all.
No.
Not even supposed to know they're here.
The quietest float in the flame. The Mojave County Democrats.
And it starts. Yeah, we're not going to comment on any of this. Fortunately, the microphones probably won't pick most of it up.
We'll just let that part of the parade speak for itself.
Yeah.
Havasu Antique Car Club. Retired teacher Christy Morelli in that one. Tons of years of service to the school district.
The Marine Association was started over 10 years ago, spearheaded by the efforts of our past president, CEO, Jim
Coming up next, the Quilts of Valor. Actually, young ladies who do quilting, as we talked about before, they've actually worked on this quilt, and it is going to be donated to a veteran that served.
It's a very lovely quilt.
Volunteers bring in over 1 million pounds of trash and brush each year to keep the lake clean.
That shirt looks awful familiar.
The Marine Association coming in, surprise, a boat.
Yeah, imagine that.
At least theirs kind of fits the mood.
Alive FM. Pastor Jacob founded the station in 1981 and signed on to the air July 16, 1983. Some scoff and laugh at his idea to start a Christian radio station in a city of approximately 27,000. But with lots of praying men and women, he pulled it off. Today the station serves from Barstow, California to Tucumari, New Mexico, and around the world on the internet. Jason says it just goes to show you with God all things are possible. Alive FM.
Alive FM coming down the way. You've got a little history with them, don't you?
Worked with them quite a bit on radio side, and great help for us in our radio stations.
The Poseidon Patriots.
That's the family room, right? You know, the bar? Right. Okay, so I started shoring it up, right? On the inside a little bit more. Yesterday, I put me more lumber.
Poseidon Patriots are all veterans from Poseidon Lane. We love our veterans, our true heroes. Thank you for your service, Poseidon Patriots. Aquatic services.
Poseidon Patriots coming up next.
Remodeling and repairs. From the fiberglass pool. Over 20 years of experience. We have a fiberglass pool. Aquatic services.
Now here's something you don't see every day. A pool in the middle of the street.
And it's not a boat.
It's not a boat. They brought the pool instead. So now you got an idea what size pool you want.
And that's our parade. Thank you everyone for coming. What a great day. Again,
And this is it as we wrap it up.
What an incredible parade today. And the gala dinner tonight, hosted by our mayor. And don't forget this afternoon, if you want to get down and see what's going on at the skate park, it's the competition. It's free to everybody. The grandstands are set up. It's going to be a great afternoon, right here in Lake Havasu City.
Yeah, so 50 years down, 50 more to go.
Oh, good grief.
You ready for them?
No.
All right, this is Drake Finney on behalf of all the Havasu Online TV staff. Big shout out to Jersey's Bar and Grill for letting us steal their internet. Big shout out to you, Chris Rolando, for joining me on the mic. This is not going to be the last time.
Is that a threat?
That is a promise and a threat at the same time. We wish you all a great day. We'll catch you at our next broadcast this Wednesday from Lee Barnes Field. We'll see you then.